No discussion of resilience is complete without also addressing the concept of stress. So let's have a look at that now.
When it comes to resilience and stress, it's instructive, even illustrative, to think about them as being balanced on a seesaw, with resilience on one side and stress on the other. And for the most part, most of us go through life with the scales pretty much in balance. However, time, place and circumstance might lead your scales to tip in the favour of stress. And then, weirdly, that's the time that we want to do something about it. We've already talked about how you can build resilience before adversity, but the way you view meaningful challenges can also contribute to your resilient shield. There are some peculiar changes in our physiology when it comes to stress. Let's explore those.
All of us, in fact every single mammal, has a couple of tiny little chunks right at the base of their brain, in the most ancient part of their brain, called the amygdala. Now these things are in charge of keeping us alive, and when we perceive a threat, they leap into action and they trigger what's often known as our fight or flight response. Stress fires our amygdala and it causes it to release all sorts of neurohormones, things like cortisol, adrenaline, norepinephrine. This can help us deal with a challenge in the moment, but from an evolutionary perspective, it's designed for a good time, not a long time. It's designed for that situation where the saber-toothed tiger jumps out at you and you leap into action, punch it in the face, run away, and then transition back into a restful state. Now, fortunately, we don't face too many saber-toothed tigers these days, but unfortunately, the kinds of stressors we do face don't run away like that saber-toothed tiger, and so we can often get chronic stress. These are the things that just niggle at us day after day. And what this means is that often we're constantly oozing cortisol and adrenaline. It's almost like our body's like a car engine that's idling at 7,000 revs. We're never getting back to the relaxed stage. So what we want to do when we're looking at this discussion of stress is recognise that our lifestyle can cause us to have these significant stress reactions over a long period, and that's doing us damage from a well-being perspective. A lot of the techniques that we're going to talk about when it comes to resilience help bring us back from that elevated stress state, both in the moment, so we don't do something we're going to regret in the heat of the moment, but also over time, so we can let that car engine come back to a nice, cool idle.
Is all stress bad? Well, clearly no. If all stress was bad, then we wouldn't have adapted to be at the top of the food chain. We'd still be amoebas. Two academics, Yerkes and Dodson, came up with the Yerkes-Dodson law, which recognises that some stress in our life is critically important. Not too little stress, not too much, but just the right amount can put us in the optimum band for performance.